Welcome to the 5th video in the Simblee for Mobile tutorial series. This time we are going to add more switches to our user interface and add more logic to the event function and the event structure to be able to handle those multiple switches and do different things with different switches. So the first thing we need to do in our UI function here is to just add more switches. We're going to rename the one we've been using switch ID 1, and we'll have to do that in all of its locations. Switch ID 1, switch ID 1. And now we can just do this the fast way. We'll add 3 more switches, and we'll name those 2, 3, and 4. And then we need to create these variables up here. So it'll be int switch ID 2. Three and 4. Now to show the different effects or the different actual functions here, we're going to use all 3 channels of the RGB LED on the shield, and what that means is we're going to use GPIO pins 2, 3, and 4. So if you don't have the shield, you can just as easily plug in LEDs on your breadboard to pins 2, 3, and 4, but we're gonna do it with the shield. So that's define. We'll make these names simple as well. LED 2 is going to be pin 2, LED 3, pin 3, and LED 4, pin 4. Now we need to set all of those as outputs as well. So that's LED 2, 3, and 4, setting them up for digital output. And then that's actually all we need to do to create the switches and get them ready for the event. Now down in here in the UI event function, we need to add the logic so that we know exactly which switch has been toggled, which event is being passed into this function, and which LED we want to toggle with that switch. So the first, we'll do the switches 2, 3, and 4. Those are going to turn on and off LED channels 2, 3, and 4, or I believe it's green, red, and blue. So what we're going to do here is, if event ID is switch ID 2, we're going to do digital write LED 2 to the event value, just like we did. We just renamed that a little bit. But let's copy that twice there, and now we'll do switch ID 3 is going to be associated with LED 3, and switch ID 4 is going to be associated with LED 4. Auto format. Now what we're going to do, because we've got 3 LEDs and 4 switches, is we're going to see what we can do. We're going to see what we can do with switch 1, the topmost switch. I think what we want to do here is we're going to write all of the LEDs the value of that first switch when it is toggled. I did that wrong. There we go. So we've got 4 switches on our user interface. The top one is going to turn all channels of the RGB LED on and off when it is toggled. And then the next 3 are going to turn on and off individual channels. And we'll see this in action when we get the camera over the phone. We're almost ready to go, but I'm seeing a mistake I made up here. As we put all 4 switches with the exact same origin point, the exact same coordinates. So they're going to be written over each other. So we would only see one, and who knows which one the app would detect us as touching. So we need to space those out. And I went through and I found some more attractive coordinates, just as far as centering the switches and the text in the screen and laying them out nicer. Let's see what those are. And this is for my iPhone 5. These pixel counts will change whichever phone you are using. I have the Android app is not yet out, and so I haven't been able to see, what this all looks like on the Android. But I've only been using this with my iPhone 5, and so these are the pixel counts that came at. And 130, 135. All right, and what I did, they're vertically spaced 40 pixels apart. So I think we're in good shape. Let's see after we compile. So it looks like everything compiled all right, no errors, no warnings. We'll upload it to the Simblee now. Successful upload, that's great. So let's go to the camera and see how this app looks on the phone. Alright, so here we are, looking at the phone. Let's open our Simblee app. Found the Simblee right away, still is application, advertising, UI. Let's open it. And there's our new app. So we've got 4 switches now. The top one controls all 3 LEDs. That's the switch 1 ID where we wrote digital write to all the LEDs. The next 3 are outputs 2, 3, and 4, and those control individual channels of the RGB LED. So let's cycle through some of those. Let's see here if it'll do it. We've got green, that's red. You can see when they're both on, they mix together, so you get a yellow or an orange of some sort. So red, we'll turn that one off, and then we'll turn on blue. So blue, green, red, and then the top one turns them all on and off. So it's a white color. Now let's see what happens when we turn them all on with the top one. And they're all white. Now let's turn on the blue channel. You probably already are guessing what's going to happen. Nothing. The blue channel was already turned on with the top switch. All channels were turned on. So when we turned on the blue channel, nothing happened. Now what's going to happen if I turn off the blue channel? Well, an event is going to happen in our code, and that event is going to write the switch 4 value to channel 4. And it turned it off, so now we've got like a yellow, orange going on there. So if we turn them, say we've got red on, and then we turn them all on, well, red was already on, and then we turn them all off, red goes off, because this value of this switch is still 1, but there's been no trigger for it. It only gets triggered when that changes. So when we turn this off, it triggers to write a 0 to something that's already off. So go ahead and play around with that for a little while. It shouldn't take too long to figure out what's going on. Next video, we're going to take a look at the UI layout. Various things like coordinates, colors, and Z order of our objects. Come back for that. Thanks.